What's up, guys? Today we're going to be building the Halo M247H heavy machine gun from Halo Reach. And we're going to be building it at full scale, 1:1, at 163 centimeters long, which is about 64.3 inches in freedom units. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start off with the middle section of the gun. So sort of right in here, it's mostly tubular. So we got our 4-inch ABS with some adapters. We're going to be throwing that together, adding a few more bits onto it, and we're going to see what happens. Just to add on to that last thought real quick, my buddy Mike, you can find him at Foamforge Cosplay on Instagram, made me this awesome vector template. It's going to make my life way easier, especially for like this area in here, the barrel shroud and whatnot. So thanks, Mike. I'll throw a link to your Insta in the description. So we're going to start this build off, or this part of the build off, with cutting down some of that 4-inch ABS pipe. As you can see, I just have some cheap masking tape wrapped around there to mark my cut. I found it's the easiest way to keep a nice straight line when you're cutting something round like this. So yeah, keep a cheap roll of painter's tape around for that. And just pop her off. So now I'm just going to toss on my two adapters. And just give her a little tap. Just tap it in. And we're going to cut some more of that 4-inch pipe, again with the angle grinder. You can use other stuff. You can use a Sawzall or a multifunction tool. Even a circular saw if you have one large enough. Alright, so now I need to bevel the inside of this tube to line up with one of my adapters there for a nice flush fit. I'm just using a flap wheel on the grinder with either a 40 or an 80 grit wheel on it. I can't remember exactly which, but either will work for this kind of application. And you can see I have a nice rough bevel, but it's consistent. So now we're going to take the half round file and just go around, just clean that up, make it nice and smooth.
Look at that! That is so nice.
And thanks for the expert commentary there, Mike. And we're going to cut up some more. Snap that off. Bevel some more. And file some more. Perfect. So on this piece we're going to have an exposed bevel, so we're going to see the outside of it here. I'm just going to take my angle grinder, get it close, and then I'm going to take the flat side of that half round file and go around and make it nice and smooth, because this one will be visible. We want it to look good. And as you can see, you can just pull the flashing off there whenever you're cutting with a power tool on ABS. It's going to leave that bit of flashing from the plastic melting. You can just break it off with your fingers, nice and easy. No need to get too crazy with it. And as you can see, we got a nice smooth bevel now. So now I'm going to take the tri-square or triangular file, and we're just going to cut a few details into that. Again, using that tape just to keep my line nice and straight. And that leaves us with a couple nice straight grooves going all the way around. And back into the woodwork. Just gonna cut down a piece of 2x4 there. This was a horrible idea. I used a flap disc to take down quite a bit of material here. I should have started off with my circular saw, clamped everything down and just shaved off a little bit with the circular saw, but I decided to make a ton of dust instead. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. And using the belt sander just to smooth that down. So this piece is going to slide into that ABS tube section you can see in the background there. So I just had to make everything nice and round on the one side just to get everything to slide in and fit snugly. And due to the ridges on the inside of that adapter, I just had to take those down with the file. That took a while, but it worked. And now, because it is quite snug, I'm just going to tap everything down with the rubber mallet. Get it into place, check it out. Get it into place again. Realize I went a little too far. And we'll tap it back the other way. Beautiful. So, learning from my last mistake of trying to use the angle grinder to take down a lot of material, just using my circular saw around this side. And a little cross cut with the circular saw. A little bit dicey, but it works. And then using the Japanese style full cut saw just to finish that off nice and flush. And here I'm going to be attaching all the ABS to itself and to the wood. So I'm just taking a drill bit that's slightly smaller than my screws I'll be using. The threaded portion anyway. And here I'm measuring the countersink, finding a nice countersink to match the size of the head of the screw. So I'll just take that countersinking bit, go a little bit underneath the surface of the, a little bit past the surface of the ABS. And once we put that screw in there, it'll be nice and flush and sit just below the surface of the material. And more ABS cutting. And one more. So now this one I'm going to cut vertically, I guess you could call it, or straight along. Be careful because it does have a tendency, you can see there it snapped together as I came off the end of it, and it did bind up on my blade, so if you're ever cutting something around, PVC will do that as well. Now I'm taking my heat gun, getting that ABS nice and hot so we can flex it over our adapter pieces. Sliding it down, doing my best not to pinch my fingers. And like a glove. So now just because the circumference of the original ABS was a little bit different, just taking that down a little bit, smoothing everything out to get it to fit nice and flush with the rest of the piece. And now we're just going to drill a few more holes and countersink them as well, just to hold everything together. Thank you so much for joining me again today, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please consider hitting that subscribe button to get notified of my future videos. I realized in this video I didn't really touch on the scaling and how I was getting all the shapes and sizes for my parts on this build, so I'll be sure to touch base on that in my next video. We're also going to be playing with some PVC pipe, turning it into flat sheets like this, and then I'll show you how to heat form it as well. We'll see you next time.